Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Troy Hazuda of Clay Football. How's it going?
I'm good, Casey. How are you?
Doing good, man. So your junior season is complete. Obviously started off well, but obviously some games that you want to have back and all that stuff. Just kind of recap the year.
Yeah, I started off hot 2-0. Two big wins at the start, close games, Sandusky and Northview. Two really good teams as well. Weeks 3, 4, and 5, Whitmer, Findlay, Perrysburg. I mean, those are just tough games. Big schools, big opponents, great teams, obviously. So we're 2-3 at that point. Beat Bowling Green, and then lost 3 close ones to Napoleon, Fremont, and Southview. Napoleon we lost, triple overtime. It was just a heartbreaker, you know. Fremont was a close one on homecoming, and then it just fizzled away at the end. Southview senior night was, it was close all game back and forth, and, they just got the last score. So beat Rogers week 10. Ended off 4-6.
Yeah. So just, what was this year like for you? Obviously you just went through it, but overall, how do you think you guys did?
Yeah, I think it was as much as 4-6 doesn't look successful. I feel like it was a success, just as a growing point, like a growth point for our team, learning point. We learned so much about the group of guys we're playing with, and we had so many juniors starting, both like offense and defense. We had so many juniors playing. It's going to be a lot of the same guys back next year, so it's kind of just learning the guys you're playing with. I think we'll be better off next year. I think we can be more successful record wise, game wise next year. Yeah, it's just, for me personally, it's just learning more about playing receiver, being the receiver of the team. Last year I was one of 4 top 10 receivers in the league. It was we threw the ball every play, threw the ball all the time. So being the guy this year, the number 1 receiver, it's definitely a big jump from last year, and I'm hoping it's another big jump next year just to compete.
Yeah. Obviously the big story with you guys, of course, is playing in a bunch of new teams and a new conference and all that stuff. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was definitely different, looking at our schedule and seeing 7 or 8 teams that we've never played, or we haven't played in 20, 30 years at our school. But yeah, definitely moving from the track to the NLL, it's a jump, and being in the lower division is definitely something that it's probably about where we belong. We have those teams, the teams in the upper division, they belong there, and we belong down here. It's definitely a good system, but the teams are still competitive.
Yeah. So going into this season, how do you feel like you've grown as a player?
As a player, I think, yeah, I just think over the years, like freshman to sophomore to junior, I just think athleticism is a big thing. You need from the jump to freshman football to varsity football, it's just so much faster and so much more. And then from being a sophomore to being a junior, it needs to be even faster and faster, just because if you want to have that competitive edge, if you want to succeed, you have to be as athletic or more athletic than the other team. So it's just a big jump in athleticism. So
yeah. So how do you feel like, you and obviously the connection that you and Mason have? You two are best friends. So what's this off season going to be like, working with the two of you? How do you, what are you two going to really kind of work on together?
Yeah. I think as much as it's on the field things, it's also off the field things, just building a better relationship with them. Obviously, we're best friends. We're with each other all the time, school, outside of school, football, obviously. But I think on the field wise, it's I mean, we're going to hit a lot of camps together. We're hitting a lot of visits in the winter, spring practice visits, and then obviously camps in the summer. So off the field, it's just a lot of getting the ball in our hands in the off season, just keeping that chemistry maintained, being able to connect with each other, get the timing down on routes and stuff, all that.
Just, outside of football, kind of describe the relationship that you two have.
Yeah, so I mean, me and Mason met in third grade, and when we were playing football together, we went to different elementary schools, but ever since third grade, we've been best friends. We've been brothers basically. So I mean, we're just ever since we were kids. I mean, every weekend, every other weekend, we were hanging out. In the summer, we're with each other. And now we're older. Just driving around together. It's just like little things like that. And then on the weekends, we're hanging out, get a poker night together every other weekend or so.
For sure. And then just really could just kind of talk about like, this off season. I know you're gonna hit a bunch of camps and all that stuff. What is just the timeline for the next few months as 2024 kind of comes around?
Yeah, so the plan is to, keep hitting game visits throughout the rest of the winter. Once spring rolls around, it's going to be more of like spring practice visits. Just hitting as many as we can, obviously, just kind of meeting coaches, getting a feel for what the atmosphere is like at some colleges. And then summer rolls around, we're out of school. It's going to be a lot of free time. Camps is a big one, obviously. And then just out on the field working towards first game in August. So
Yeah. And then of course, going into your senior season now, it's can you believe you're already getting ready for, I know you have a lot of junior year left, but can you believe it's already, you're getting ready for that now?
I can't believe it. It's going extremely fast. I feel like a freshman still. I remember putting on my pads freshman year first game, and it feels like yesterday. So I mean, it's going insanely fast.
All right. Well, Troy, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll definitely talk to you soon.
Absolutely.